welcome to this week's stream. Today I'm going to be trying to paint my Ogre Blood Bowl team. So I did have a funny name I thought of for these painting sessions. I was watching The Simpsons earlier, that's what made me think of it. I should call them What the Hell is La Grill? Because it just reminds me every time I paint of being like Homer in that episode where he builds the barbecue grill and loses the thing and then looks at it and goes, "Oh, why doesn't mine look like that?" Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel every time I paint. But so this would be my second Blood Bowl team. My first one was the first thing I ever painted. So that was the Orc team that came with the starter set, and then I boosted it by buying a set as well, and then bought a troll. And they won in our local league as well. So they were the first miniatures I bought and painted. So I just stuck with them for a long time. They were called the Big Red Machine, named after wrestling. So I named all the different orcs after some wrestlers. So and then I was gonna do a goblin team and call them the Little Red Machine and name them all after like luchadors or something like that. But in the end, I just ended up seeing these, and my nephew actually bought them for me. So today I'm not really going to paint them all, I don't think, and I'm really not looking forward to painting these nobblers. I painted quite a few grots over the summer, and yeah, so I'm thinking today I'll probably just end up putting like flesh colours on them. So for the ogres, they're going to be Guilliman flesh, and then I'm going to try some orc flesh on the nobblers. Because they were called the Big Red Machine, my orc team was obviously red, and so I don't know what colour to do these. I didn't know anyway. I'm gonna go with a blue because it's different. Everything that I tend to paint seems to be green or red. So, and they're the colours that I don't really see very well. So this time I'm not going to go that way. I know the nobblers are going to be green, but I'm going to go with blue because, you know, the Games Workshop Chuck Blues are you. I think I've never bought a bottle of blue. Well, I bought 1,000 Suns blue, but like I've somehow got like 3 different bottles or pots of McCrag blue, and I wonder why. So yeah, today I might change that because I probably won't get to the colour stage. So I'm gonna just do these as I'm gonna do them as do the Guilliman flash on these 4 ogres first, and hope that I don't mess them up too much. What I found when I'm doing contrast, I do pool a bit. So I do pool them a bit, and I don't want those tide marks on these guys. So I'm actually I bought this a while ago, but so the medium. So I'm gonna try and thin it down to try and cut back on all of the tide marks and stuff, so giving them a good shake. Obviously I haven't used Guilliman flesh that much because I haven't painted with Guilliman flesh because I tend to paint green, and so it's not often. And with the Plague Marines, I tend to put helmets on them and try not to show. So I'm gonna give this a go. I'm being shouted at in the chat to paint them like my French girls. I don't know any French girls. and to just dip them in the Gulliman, basically. So I'm going to give it a go anyway. So, and let's hope that it turns out alright. If anyone's got any questions as well, feel free to answer. I can look up sometimes. I might not do it that often, but and I think I'm going to turn this camera off my face now that I've basically stopped talking, because when I look down I get 16 chins, so we don't need to see that. So we didn't really, I did plan to do some of these over like Christmas and stuff, but it just didn't end up happening. So if anyone's watching, wants to tell us what they had for Christmas, hobby-wise, maybe that's something that we could talk about. Like I showed off my pile of shame last week, and you all know what I had, so happy to hear what you all want, what you all had instead. So I'm gonna use Army Painter Regiment black brush, just because I hear people who know what they're doing tell people what brushes they're using, but you know, I don't really see the difference. It's just a brush, and I'm not really good at doing this. I never know where to start either. Like, do I just start high so that I can run down the model, and by the time I get there maybe not have to do it? I have been told to try and keep the brush strokes going in the same direction, but yeah, I'm happy to take any tips if anyone is good at painting and wants to tell me how to do it. If I don't like the look of this guy after the medium, maybe I'll go back to the pot. So the chat is quite busy for a change, rather than me just talking to Sam. Someone had the head of a famous actor. If you noticed earlier when I was doing the intro, he's not behind me anymore, so I wonder where that could be. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually being able to play games again if we ever get out of lockdown, but I'm starting to think that this is life and we just paint things, and that's my least favourite part of the hobby. So hopefully it's not, and hopefully we get to see people again some point. But hopefully I'll have some painted things on the table instead of just grey. I'm talking to Kieran with that one. He's even sprayed some of his Space Wolves, so maybe he's even coming round to getting the grey off the table. Oh, someone has slippers. I actually need slippers. So I've never been one for shoes in the house, but I think I'm getting old because I need slippers. So yeah, but I've currently got a pair of slippers on that I had a few years ago, and I didn't think I'd ever wear them. But they're more like thick socks with like grips on the bottom. I need some with like rubber soles, so that I could take the bins out without getting my feet wet. At one point I would have just walked out with barefoot, but I'm getting a bit old for that now and feel the cold a bit more. But other than that, I would happily walk around like a hobbit. So someone's got to build scenery. Oh, that's Sam. Sam needs to build scenery. Get Battlefield in a box. You just pull it out the box, it's ready to go. Me and Kieran went off as on a load of it in that period when we were allowed to have bubbles and stuff. So yeah, and it is great. It makes the Battlefield. And that's something else that we've done over this lockdown is build a board to play home games. Whereas at one point I would never have thought, wouldn't have wanted to do it. But it was the only way that we could get any games in. And we kind of got my other nephew into Warhammer through that as well, which hopefully we can show him how. We got him some. So it's my nephew Josh, and we got him a load of Blood Angels for Christmas. So it's a pity that it's another Imperium player, but it's another player. I guess he's better for me. Someone had a beard trimmer for Christmas. I had a beard trimmer as well. I think I bought mine myself. I had a beard trimmer one year and it was the best present I had. I've never bought a wet razor since. So it's not the end of the world. Blood for the Blood God. Skulls for the Skull Throne. Yep. So yeah, I don't know how happy I am with how this has turned out. There's some pooling, but it seems to be alright. I'll see if I can show. Or does he still look like grey to you guys? No, I'm not thinking about ogres. I'm just carrying on the Nurgle thing. For AOS, I'm just staying with because I got Nurgle and it can go between AOS and 40k. So I wouldn't be going for ogres. I thought you were going to stick with ogres anyway, Chris. Because hopefully we can have games. Or are you gone off doing AOS? Because we were on about doing an escalation league. If I was going to pick an AOS army, if I was going to pick an AOS army off the top of my head, not off the top of my head, but one that it wasn't because I've already got a massive amount of Nurgle, it would probably be Caradon Overlords. So, because I really like the look of those steampunk dwarves. Or, there's always orcs. There's always orcs. But I haven't branched out from the orcs and the chaos that much. But so yeah, if I was gonna go good guys, probably steampunk dwarves in airships. They look quite good. I don't know how they are in game. Not that I care. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't play orcs because, especially with my rolling, if the people in the chat who have played with me know how badly I roll, unless it comes. Except even. I was going to say, unless it comes down to my last Poxwalker with Disgusting Resilience, but seeing as Disgusting Resilience won't work on Poxwalkers anymore, Sam, you're right. I won't just have one guy stood there taking all your shots anymore. Yeah, so maybe having an army that can shoot and can do bits other than roll loads of dice and then pick up all the dice and then go, your turn. That would be nice for a change. I'm trying to think of what else. And then, so, and I'm not looking forward to my friend Kieran getting his, remembering to roll all of his stuff against demons, against my chaos stuff anymore. If we ever get back to playing, because yeah, he probably would have wiped me out if he'd remembered that he could just like look at things and make them disappear with his Grey Knight, instead of going, no, it's fine, you don't have to make any saves. So yeah, as long as he keeps doing that, that's fine. So he's not looking too bad, I don't think. There's a little bit of pooling in his belly, but I'll get rid of that. And I'm moving out. I keep realising I'm moving out of camera shot. Sorry. But to be honest, you're not really here to watch me paint because I'm not very good at it. It's the thrilling conversation, isn't it? But yeah, I also got some Star Wars Legion for Christmas as well. So I've built them. And I've got a Vader and a Luke. So I guess I've got a choice of Empire or Empire or Rebels, but you know, I play Empire in I already play Empire in X-Wing, so I'm probably gonna stick with the Empire if I'm truth being told, because you know, Darth Vader's cooler than Luke. Fight me. And yeah, and I want an ATST. That's the other thing. Yeah, the other thing that I really want from it is an ATST. So yeah, it'll probably be Rebels, but I did get a really cool Luke figure as well that I will do No Justice 2, obviously, because I can't really paint. I can't mess up Darth Vader. Spray him black. If I could mess that up, I really shouldn't be painting. Paint him black, then paint his stick red. All done. I know, it's not a stick. So, Chris is building his Rebels now because of the new Luke model. That's pretty. It is a really cool model. It's Luke after the snowspeeder has crashed on Hoth in Empire Strikes Back, and it is a fantastic model. It's just, I think overall I want Empire and the Imperials, because they got cooler music as well. You know, that Imperial March. Ooh, a glow-in-the-dark paint. The only problem is, it's like the dice that Kieran's got for the Skaven in Blood Bowl. He's got glow-in-the-dark dice. We never play with the lights off. I think our friend Miles's son pointed that out to him. But it's like glow in the dark rat dice. Yeah, but when do you play in the dark? But that would be cool. I'd probably play in the dark just to go, look, let's turn the lights off. Or I could just get one of those glow sticks from like Poundland and pick out all the reds, and every time we play, just have one of those stick it out Vader's lightsaber hilt. So I do need someone to go halfers on an Imperium core set if anyone fancies it. If the guy who might have Ogres needs any more rebels. So I wish I'd gotten into it earlier when there were people more, well, I guess with us, if me, Chris, Kieran and Kieran get into it, at least we got a nice little core of us that'll play. I don't particularly want to play miniature games like army miniature games too serious, because I don't know, I played X-Wing quite serious for a while. I want to get back to it, but I did burn myself out from it, and every time I look at my X-Wing stuff, I think of the time I drove like through the night to get to a tournament, lose, and then have to drive home the same day. That was a tiring night. But yeah, I still look at the models and think, I still look at the X-Wing models and think, yeah, I do want another game of that. But yeah, he's looking a bit dirty, but that kind of works. And I put the other camera back on so I could show you, because it's a bit better. Yeah. I think he's come out a bit better than I would have expected. So, might need another coat, but that's going to be... have to wait for it to dry first, I guess. Can I get into any of the bits I've missed, like under the helmet? Because I can always clean some of this up later on. Like some of this stuff will be using like metallic paints and stuff. I don't have to worry, they'll go over the contrast quite easily. Don't have to be as neat with them. I think that's why I'm not very good at this thing, is because I haven't got the patience to be neat enough. See, I have played a little bit of Keyforge over lockdown, but I just don't enjoy playing on like the Crucible as much as I do in person. So like I can see that Sam's saying that she's played, and I'm guessing it must be online if Will has played, because he's not in this area anymore, and lockdowns and whatnot, playing Magic the Gathering. But yeah, I do miss like Keyforge, but then I'm also falling out of like of all of the like updates and stuff. I know they've been leaking this week, and I just haven't been bothered. They shown up on my timeline, and I think it's just because I think it's just because I can't play. We bought a box. Me and Kieran bought a box of Mass Mutation between us, and we played the day it came out, and then we haven't played again because there's you can't go to the shop to play, and it's like, so what do we do with it? What do we do with it? But there'll be a new set out, and I haven't got anything from Mass Mutation going, so like, I think they could have delayed the new set and maybe done an official online thing, that like an official app that we could have played online and got shards and stuff like that, rather than get the new set out. Yeah, I'm with you, Chris, on the Crucible. It's just so awkward, and then like, the only time I've kind of enjoyed playing on the Crucible is when I played with Chris and Kieran, and then I would rather be playing in person with them anyway, because for me, Keyforge was something that we did for fun on a Saturday afternoon, and it was about the banter as well, of being at the table and winding each other up. Winding each other up as we played, and especially winding up Kieran by using meta rulings that go against what we all agreed it looked like you meant, but using like the meta rulings of cards against my nephew Kieran, not Kieran Jenkins, and he'd get so wound up because as written it would look one way, but the way that the judges had been ruling in the meta was a different way, and he really didn't like that we were pointing that out. Yeah, it seems, that's the thing, because Sam, that's the thing with it's had an app since it came out. It's had an app since it came out, and has been very app reliant for the shards and stuff. So the fact that they have never done much with online or anything, it just doesn't seem to it just doesn't seem to do anything. It's just, and then they rush it out another set, which brings in a massive new mechanic of the tide, and then if we're not out of this lockdown anytime soon, when that comes out, no one's going to know how the tide works and what it means for like Mass Mutation decks and backwards, because we all know that, like, well, the guys who are on the chat, we all know that Worlds Collide was probably the strongest set that they had, but the least fun to play, because it was just dinosaurs and then whatever. So probably dinosaurs and this. Yeah, so like dinosaurs and this in Worlds Collide, if you had those two together and another house, it could, as long as the other house wasn't Brobnar, it just made it was like dinosaurs, whereas, and I think that was a reaction to like not Worlds Collide, Call of the Archons, where it was basically just Logos and, well, Shadows first. Shadows the strongest and Logos second strongest, so let's stop them doing what they do best. Although Logos still pretty strong in Worlds Collide as well, but not doing what it had traditionally done, and doing putting the cost of keys up and stuff. What deck do you want to buy, Chris? So they've said that they'll never rotate decks out. The sets won't rotate out, but power creep will eventually mean that you rotate. You'll rotate out. There might be some tournaments where they say you can't play with like Worlds Collide now because there's 5 sets out. I did try to buy another Mass Mutation deck when a while back, because I've been trying to support the gamers, and it was like nothing I could see, and I thought, I'll buy a Keyforge deck, and they were all out of stock. And the thing is, I've got over 100 here that I don't play with, so I did sort out my Keyforge. So anyway, back to rotating out. So I think in like the shop, you'll never really see anything rotated out. But for instance, the second set, Age of Ascension, basically was rotated out by the first set because no one really played Age of Ascension was something that we'd never really played. You're talking about finding wrapped decks? I'm finding coats with decks in there that are still sealed. All my pocket decks ready to never be played. But I think I pulled a decent Mass Mutation deck, but I've no idea where it's gone. I did catalogue all my decks at the start of lockdown. I was going to sell some off, but I just don't know how to price them. Doing the different formats really kept the game alive for me, I think. Apart from reversal. I hated reversal. It's just bring your least fun deck and make someone else play with your least fun deck while you play with their least fun deck. And like the game when I came second in the reversal, and Jack came first, and the 2 decks that we played were just horrible, and playing against each other with them was just horrible, and no fun was had all around. It was just like, that format isn't my favourite. I think sealed was my favourite because then I could justify buying a new deck. Even the times when I don't want to buy a deck, and if it's sealed, I gotta buy a deck now. The only problem with that is when you get a bad deck, and then you're just miserable. So when we all get back together and playing games, what teams are you going to bring to the Blood Bowl League? I know I'm painting these guys, but if you guys are going to start bringing elves and stuff like that, I might just have to buy a new team. So, What teams are you guys thinking of using in Blood Bowl? I recommend Orcs. Orcs are good. But yeah, I'll obviously put up photos of these later to see how badly I've done. And then, so I'm not sold on blue yet. And someone suggested earlier orange and yellow. So if you've got any suggestions, I'm not painting red and I'm not painting green. Apart from the Nobblers are going to be green. But if you've got any suggestions other than red and green, if you think I should stick with the blue idea that I've got, or if I should try the orange and yellow, let me know. Yeah, that is probably my favourite team name ever. Are they coming back for another go, the Frosty Knobs? Yeah, the Necromantic team look amazing. And I would be probably getting a pack of them myself if Kieran hadn't already picked it up. But pink, I was looking at Screamer Pink earlier as I was sorting out my paints for now. So I was looking at Screamer Pink, but I don't know. Pink is a bit close to red for a colourblind person, so it's just really light red. So, any other ideas that isn't a really light red? And yeah, so the Frosty Knobs. I'll have to. The other thing I need to come up with for these guys is a name. So my last one was wrestling based, so maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I'll go comic based with these or something. They're big guys. We've got little guys hang around with them, so maybe there'll be Bruce, Thaddeus, Emil, and then all of the Nobblers can be called Rick Jones. Lime, yeah. Lime green. I don't know if I've got a lime green, but again, do I have to paint more green? You know, I got orcs and nurgly things. I think I'm pretty good on the green at the moment. Whether it's lime green, green, blue green, and I don't know any other greens. Your what, your dwarves are lime green? You'll have to share them on our on the SCG Facebook page. Share all of your stuff that you've been working on. Oh, I think I've just ruined this guy's head. Oh. Okay. Need a dry brush. Need a dry brush to try. Well, it was gonna be Thousand Suns Blue. That's what I was thinking for the moment. But I am open to change. And yeah, I think these are the guys that I'm going to be bringing to if we have another league. I got the extra ogre from the starter set that also has to be added to these guys. He'll be the so that I can have 5 of them. But I know you can run 6 ogres, and then, but I think I won't be able to get 6 in to start. I'll need to build up the team value and get the money, but maybe you can push for 5. You can win with 5 ogres, can you? I don't think winning is a thing with the ogre teams anyway, so. But because I won the last league, I'm happy to just take part in another league. And just try and see how well I can do. Or maybe go after Kieran's casualty record. That would be cool. I've had a little look through the book. I haven't really checked out the rules properly. But I had a look through. I don't think it's that much change. I think it's more of a. I know there's certain things that have changed quite a bit, but I don't think it's going to be that much for us when we play in locally, and we'll just work it out. Like, I think illegal procedure's gone. That's a good thing. And I hated that. I really hated that. I never remembered to move that bloody turn counter on. I think it's just sort of like cleaned up some of the stuff that made certain things too powerful. So like, you can't have a wood elf team that everyone can pass, like from the lineman to the thrower to the blitzers and the war dancers and everything. So like, that's good. Especially when but then I know orcs now have animosity to everyone, so throw-in isn't really good for them. And you've got bits like that. I know they've added certain things like that in, but I haven't had a proper read. I think part of the reason for that is that I know I'm not going to be playing a game anytime soon. I know it's horrible to say, but it's going to be a while. And when it looks like we might be able to come out of lockdown, I might start read the rules a bit better. Or better still, I'll give it to Kieran. He likes reading rules. But from what I read of it, it wasn't massive changes, I don't think. It just streamlined some of the things. So I think if you know how to play it, you won't be like being a beginner again. So we should be alright. So I'm I'm tempted to buy another team, even though I haven't finished painting these. I still want the Goblin team to be the Little Red Machine, but I also really like the Snotling team, because I really like those pump trucks that they come with. But again, I don't know why I keep picking the teams that are apparently very hard to play with. and not very good. So, but they're all the ones that look cooler. So like the snotlings, goblins, the halflings, the ogres. Read the rules. So yeah, a little bit of an inside joke there. So yeah, so like that's kind of where I've gone with Blood Bowl, is that I just like some of the quirkier teams. Like I really like the models of like the dwarves, but like I know a few people in our group like who already played dwarves, and that's the other thing. I just don't want mirror matches. So like if I go with all the weird and wonderful teams, I'm unlikely to come up against someone else who's playing them. Like Sam was the only other person who played orcs, but just like me, Sam is also, well, Sam collects more orcs than me because she does the Age of Sigma Oryx as well. So, but but everyone else in the league had like, well, Kieran was on Skaven. One guy was playing with elves, Elf Union, so pro elves. Another guy was playing with the Dark Elves. I can't remember. Is that what they call Dark Elves? Yeah, I missed D&D too. Then what else was people playing? Someone was playing Beastmen, Chaos. Chaos. Trying to think. There was a dwarf team. Kieran was playing Skaven. I know I'm missing people, but yeah, and I just, even though dwarves look really cool, I know about 3 people who've got dwarf teams, and it's just not my cup of tea, I don't think. Yeah, big green dudes for the win, even when Sam breaks my troll's shoulder and turns him into a really bad black orc. A bad black orc who can eat his teammates and can not move if you roll a 1. And if you play Blood Bowl, you know that's 1s commonplace. So like, I rolled a 1. I want to go for it. It's okay, I got a reroll. I rolled a 1. It's just the way it is. This is the way, as Din Djarin would say. But so that's why I was thinking that myself earlier about a new paint scheme for my orcs. But at the same time, because they were the first thing that I've ever painted, I kind of don't want to, so that I could see how far I've come. And looking at these guys, it's not very far, but you know, I got some orc bits that I think I've done quite well with. So I kind of want to leave my Blood Bowl orcs the way they were, just so that I can show, like, this was the first thing I painted, and then I can then show like some of the buggies that I painted, which I think I did a good job on some of those. I can then show them and go, and this is something I painted more recently. But otherwise, I think I would try and repaint my Blood Bowl orcs just to see how much better I could do them. I guess I'm going to get a chance at doing that when I paint the Black Ogre team that came with the starter set. So, yeah, I got a new Ogre team to try. So I can show the difference between them. I know they're not the same sculpts, but we'll see if my new team, new Ogre team is better than my old Ogre team. So, not in like on the pitch wise, because you know, the big red machine are champions. So it's not about that. It's just whether or not I paint them better. Really like the sculpt on this guy. You can't really see it, but with him holding the Snotlin, not Snotlin, Nobbler. You know, just in case you got to throw him into a cage and then miss the throw. So, yeah. I like the fact that so many of the guys like Blood Bowl, even though they don't like sports. Yeah, the Black Ogres look great. And the goblins that come with them. I think with those and the extra goblins I bought for my other team, I might be able to make a goblin team without having to actually buy the goblin team. So that's a plus. I'll have an extra team without actually buying an extra team. So maybe my Black Ogres do need to be like red, just so that but then again, my Orcs could just be, my Goblin team could just be that they've scavenged together different kits. So they've just happened to have like, some of them are in red, some of them are in green or blue or you know, just anything really. So that they just look a bit more ramshackled. I guess that would actually work for Garbos, but I'm maybe not. I don't know. It'll be a while before I get to painting them anyway, because you know they're not even built yet. So this one is the third one that I'm doing with the thin down paint. Maybe I'll do the last one straight out the bottle. Well, not out the bottle, off my palette, so that you can see, be able to see the difference, and maybe you'll give him a different skin tone, maybe, so then, you know, they don't look identical. Maybe the last guy, who's one of the ones that looks as if he's about to kick one of the guys, he could have been out practicing kicking nobblers a bit longer, so he's got a bit of a tan or something. So yeah, maybe I'll do that with the last guy, just to, you know, change it up and see if it looks better. But I'm getting to the point where I'm looking at it and going, like I said at the start, oh, why don't mine look like that? You know, I've watched a guy painting these guys on YouTube a few times to have a look how to do it. That's why I'm thinning it down, because that guy did it and his looked a lot better than mine have come out. But he was doing a tutorial rather than just a paint along, admitting that I'm not very good at it. Like, I've never claimed that this is a tutorial. It is just me sitting here rambling about different games. And trying my best to make sure my guys are at least tabletop quality when I get to play with them again. But yeah, someone mentioned earlier that they missed D&D. We can play D&D. It's just we'll have to do it. We might be doing it on the stream at some point. So we're gonna try and utilize the stream a bit more than we normally do. So like, I think there are plans in the works for me, Simon, Sam, Adam, and maybe Dylan to do a short adventure on the stream as well. So keep an eye out on the social medias, and we shall see if that is the case. You will find out from there. Whilst I'm on here, I know that I'm probably only it's great, Chris. You'd probably enjoy it. I was hoping that we'd all be able to do I know it's not D&D, but be able to do the Keyforge one at some point, but you know, pandemics and lockdowns and stuff got in the way, but who knows, we might be able to do it at some point. Mind you, I haven't seen that book anywhere yet either, so so don't hold your breath for that. But yeah, we'll be on you got the book right, someone got the book already, so yeah, we can do a Keyforge run at some point. But yeah, I think a few of us will be, so me, Sam, Adam, Dylan, and Simon will be doing a short campaign on the stream at some point. We just got to work out how to do all of the bits so that it's not as amateur as painting with Ricky, where half the time I don't press record and stuff like that. So that's something to look forward to on the stream. I think we're going to be trying to do some streaming on here, game streaming at some point, so there's that to look forward to as well. And then we might do some, I think Sam was on about doing some Magic the Gathering content on here, but let us know what kind of things you guys want to see, because at the end of the day, that's why we're doing stuff, is to give content for people like you guys. So if you've got content you'd like us to cover, maybe Chris, there'll also be a thing coming out soon, Scott Pilgrim, if we can work out a way to stream that, so if it's cross-platform and things like that. So Scott Pilgrim game is coming out soon, and I think most of us will be buying that. So yeah, look to our channel. Our Facebook is, well, Swansea Comic and Gaming Convention. I almost said the other thing then. And then there's also our Instagram, which is at SCGC. I think it's still as 2020 at the moment, but we'll probably update it to 2021 at some point. and then oh, what else we got? We got Twitter and everything like that. So I think I've done this guy now. So okay, so last guy, and I will try him straight from the bottle just to see how it comes out. I had a PS3 that still had it on there. If you have, well, at one point, if you had a PS3 with Scott Pilgrim and PT, they were worth a lot of money. I don't know if they still are, but at one point they were. So if you've got PT on there as well, Sam, that is worth having a look if you could sell it. If it was up to me, the thing that I would stream would be Stardew Valley, but I don't know how to stream from my Switch, so you're lucky. You don't get to watch me just planting pumpkins for hours on end. I always say pumpkins for some reason. That's where my mind goes to when I talk about Stardew and planting things. But if I could stream from my Switch, I'd probably be streaming every day. Because I could just do like half hour of streaming Mario 35 and then about a half hour of and then like half hour or so of Stardew Valley. It's weird. I'm on my second file and I'm catching up to my first file. I was spent. So I've done about well, according to Switch, I've done about 250 hours on the game, and yeah, it's on my newer file. I've done everything a bit quicker, apart from there's one item that I can't find that I usually find really early in the game. Yeah, I am looking forward to WandaVision. It looks interesting. I'm looking forward to any new content, basically, because at the moment my favourite TV show is the Netflix home screen, scrolling through it and going, ooh, I'll watch that at some point, and then just not watching anything. So I did watch the Netflix Transformers. By doing that this week, I finally went, you know what, keep saying I'm going to watch it, I'll watch it now, and then I really enjoyed it. I did miss like Peter Cullen not being prime, but at the same time I did enjoy the show. It was good. It did make me look at the toys. I kind of want to I've always wanted a Soundwave toy, and when I was watching it, Soundwave was still my favourite, and even though he's not in that much, but he's got Ravage and Laserbeak, so it's kind of like, ooh, I really like that, but I looked at the prices and it was too expensive, so I won't be buying a Soundwave. But because it doesn't fit with any of my other collections either. It would just be me buying for the sake of it, and then I'd go, oh, am I going to display this? Because it's not a Hulk, it's not a Spider-Man, I'm trying to think, and it's not a Hasbro's wrestling figures, which is more of a lockdown thing. Yeah, I pulled out my childhood wrestling figures and actually displayed them, so but yeah, Soundwave doesn't fit into any of those categories, so it would be a bit pointless. It's just buying for the sake of it, although he does look cool. But if anyone's got any suggestions for Netflix, yeah, just comment them. I'm gonna try and finish this guy, and then I'm gonna log off because this has run a bit longer than our normal streams. It's helped that I've had a few more people commenting to keep me talking. So I hope you've enjoyed. Hope the quality, I'm plugged into I've got an Ethernet cable this time, so hopefully the quality's been a bit better as well. And yeah, keep an eye out for when we're live next. I don't know if you do the whole subscribe and stuff on here, but yeah, subscribe if you do. If it is, I haven't got to grips with Twitch as much yet, but if that's a thing, subscribe, follow our channel, tell all your friends, like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bells, and all of those things that you hear on all these social media sites. So and don't forget to check on our Facebook page and tell me which of these guys, how these guys look, and whether or not the straight up the pot guy looks better than the other guys, which at the moment I think he might be, but he might try where he doesn't look better, but I'm kind of thinking this guy looks better at the moment. Okay, I think that's him more or less done, and that's me out. Cheers!